KPBS did an important piece on its terrific show, All Things Considered, this week. The show poses the question, are national city police equipped to handle mental health crises? The article explains that 3 times in the past 4 years, the National City Police Department confronted someone in mental health crisis, and that encounter turned fatal. One of those encounters involved a family that we ended up representing and a man named Brian Umana. Brian was a 28-year-old father who was shot 8 times while suffering a mental health crisis. And Brian's death followed that of Earl McNeil, a man who died in restraints and with a spit sock over his head while he was experiencing a mental health crisis. A year later, a man named Tony Wilson died after being tased repeatedly by officers. And this was even though video showed later that he had dropped to his knees and put his hands up as officers approached him. The KPBS story explains that together, these 3 cases raise serious questions about how national city officials oversee policing and whether their policies and training are enough to prevent people who are suffering from mental health issues from having fatal encounters with the police. These kinds of cases are challenging. In Mr. Umana's case, he was barefoot out in the street in the rain, clearly suffering from a mental break, but he was also carrying a machete. Our position was, and it is, that police have to de-escalate in a situation like that. That is, use time and space to turn down the temperature and to avoid having to use deadly force. We argued that National City failed to do that in Mr. Umana's case. Ultimately, the city agreed to pay a 7-figure settlement rather than going to trial. The Umana family has always been clear that this was never about money. It's about changing the way that police respond to mental health crises. Large verdicts and large settlements do have a tendency to make policymakers sit up and take notice. And so we do try to make it really expensive to wrongly take the life of a member of our community. It should be expensive. Our hope is that by taking tough cases like Mr. Umana's and by creating real financial consequences when community members are wrongly hurt and killed, that we might change the way police interact with the most vulnerable people among us.